A reading from the first letter of St. John. Children, it is the last hour. And just as you heard that the Antichrist was coming, so now many Antichrists have appeared. Thus we know this is the last hour. They went out from us, but they were not really of our number. If they had been, they would have remained with us. Their desertion shows that none of them was of our number. But you have the anointing that comes from the Holy One, and you all have knowledge. I write to you not because you do not know the truth, but because you do, and because every lie is alien to the truth. The word of the Lord.
The responsorial psalm. The response is, "Let the heavens be glad and the earth rejoice." Sing to the Lord a new song. Sing to the Lord, all you lands. Sing to the Lord, bless his name. Announce his salvation day after day. Let the heavens be glad and the earth rejoice. Let the heavens be glad and the earth rejoice. Let the sea and what fills it resound. Let the plains be joyful and all that is in them. Then shall all the trees of the forest exult before the Lord. Let the heavens be glad and the earth rejoice. The Lord comes. He comes to rule the earth. He shall rule the world with justice, and the peoples with his constancy. Let the heavens be glad and the earth rejoice.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things came to be through him, and without him nothing came to be. What came to be through him was life, and this life was the light of the human race. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. A man named John was sent from God. He came for testimony, to testify to the light, so that all might believe through him. He was not the light, but came to testify to the light. The true light, which enlightens everyone, was coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world came to be through him, but the world did not know him. He came to what was his own, but his own people did not accept him. But to those who did accept him, he gave power to become children of God, to those who believe in his name, who were born not by natural generation, nor by human choice, nor by a man's decision, but of God. And the Word became flesh, and made his dwelling among us. And we saw his glory, the glory as of the Father's only begotten Son, full of grace and truth. John testified to him and cried out, saying, "This was he of whom I said, 'The one who is coming after me ranks ahead of me, because he existed before me.'" From his fullness we have all received, grace in place of grace. Because while the law was given through Moses, grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. No one has ever seen God. The only begotten Son, God, who is at the Father's side, has revealed him. The Gospel of the Lord.
Reflection. Focusing on the infinite love of God, in and of itself, is not sufficient. The other crucial element is the choice each of us needs to make in response to God's remarkable gift. The Bible presents us with two sharply contrasting responses to Jesus' arrival on that first Christmas some 2,000 years ago. First, we see the response of the innkeepers. Though they could plainly see that Mary was on the verge of giving birth, and though Joseph would have been related to some of them, not one of the innkeepers welcomed them. They were all too busy with everything else that they were doing, which they doubtless believed to be more important and urgent, that they had no room for Christ in their lives. They weren't necessarily evil, they just were too busy for God. The second response can be seen in the shepherds and the Magi. When the shepherds received news from the angels of the king's arrival, they immediately abandoned their flocks and went with haste to find him. After they found him and adored him, they returned glorifying and praising God for all they had heard and seen. The Magi, who weren't even Jews, traveled a great distance in search of the newborn king. When they found the one they were searching for, they fell down and worshipped him, giving him as gifts the very best they had. The response of Mary and Joseph went further still. They dedicated their whole lives to him, their time, their talents, their dreams. Their all-out response to God's love incarnate stands before us as proof that such a response is possible. And so I ask myself this Christmas morning, with all the sincerity I can muster, which of the responses above most closely resembles the response I will make to Jesus' arrival?